Just me. All right, then.
All right. All right. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Class is in session. Get your Gaxiology notepads out. You know who we are. You know how we rule. So let's get into it. I think it's safe to say that I was the most excited for Red 1 out of everyone. I was not expecting it to be the next modern holiday classic or anything. I just wanted fun, or if at the very least, dumb fun. It had a really, really good cast. The effects looked really cool. The premise looked not a bit derivative of Arthur Christmas. Oh, my back. My back. All right. But yeah, the premise looked really cool. If not a bit derivative of Arthur Christmas, but it looked fun. And just to cut to the chase, I saw it earlier, and what I wanted out of it is what I got. This is a very fun, entertaining, maybe not family film, maybe older kids, because we see some Peach in this. But yeah. But nevertheless, the general premise, I think, is really good. The Santa Claus is kidnapped. The agency has to go and get him. And we see Chris Evans now playing very much against type, which was very fun to see. Like, literally taking candy from a baby. That was the opening had me laughing my ass off already. And yeah, then you cut to freaking J.K. Simmons as Santa Claus, which we'll talk here in a little bit about his screen time. But for what he got, I thought he was very fun. It was a interesting dichotomy that he had with The Rock, which, screw y'all haters, I think he's a good actor. But and I think he really shined in this film. I liked his arc about having to gain his belief in the good of humanity again. And I thought his arc was very well paced. Even more so with Chris Evans' story arc, having to appreciate his son more, be there for his son more. That was very well done. And yeah, the ending's predictable. You can sort of guess how they're going to get out of those little snow globes. It's about the power of goodness, the power of friendship, or whatever. And yeah, it was just a very fun holiday action flick. That there's not much I can really say. That's all I wanted from it. That's what I got. So, is it overhated? Yeah, but at the same time, again, I wasn't looking for this to be the next freaking modern holiday classic or anything. What I want from it is what I got, and at the end of the day, it was enough to earn a 8 out of 10. All right, Red Sterling.
It's not Red Sterling. It's Red Herring. Anyway, my review is going to be short. The trailers for Red 1 looked like a fun time. That was what I was hoping I would get. I wasn't expecting Die Hard or Batman Returns, but I was expecting, enjoyable. After seeing it, yeah, the movie was bad. I'd say my biggest positives were like some of the creature designs were pretty cool. Acting for the most part was fine. Um, it is. I would say it's nice seeing. It is cool seeing Mr. I'm a farmer. Who's famous? Playing super nice guy Steve Rogers playing like assholes now. There were a couple fun action scenes, like I liked the Krampus scene. And I will admit, I enjoyed the beginning. However, once Santa gets kidnapped, it all falls apart. With that being said, the villain in this was just so bland. Just generic witch and turns to another empty CGI threat for the finale. J.K. Simmons was absolutely wasted in this movie as Santa. What's the point of having him be all jacked up if you're not going to have him in a fight scene? You just have him, like, no joke, this is him the whole movie. Like, he spends most of the movie in a fucking coma. Like, I haven't seen J.K. Simmons get this wasted in a movie since Ghostbusters Afterlife. But at least I liked that movie. The CGI was horrible. Uh, Dwayne fucking Johnson, man, he can't act. He's not a good actor. He never really was. I'd say his best performance was probably Maui. Like, a reviewer I watched a review earlier, and what he said honestly is accurate. Dwayne Johnson, he's not an actor, he's a product. He's there just to get people in the seats. Like, oh yeah, he's a big action guy. Yeah, there's a reason why he's called The Rock. It's because it's because he is not a good actor at all. And he's just playing the same role, whether he's Black Adam, whether he's the Scorpion King, whether he's random guy in Fast and Furious movie. The Rock is just going to play The Rock. And I don't think this movie should have been 2 hours. I thought it was a little too long. There was just way too much padding of Chris Evans and The Rock just bickering at each other, and after a while that got pretty annoying. And there's just too many ideas this movie uses that were just done better in a lot of other Christmas movies. Like the North Pole and Santa's Delivery being like a military operation, that was done a million times better in Arthur Christmas. I'm not super angry with this movie. I'm not impressed. I was expecting better. This should have been straight to streaming. If you are going to watch it, just do that. Wait for it on a streaming service. There's better Christmas movies out there, especially more recent ones. I think once I start my Christmas watches, I think I'm gonna watch Klaus, because apparently that's a great movie with J.K. Simmons as Santa. Or if you want a great Christmas movie that came out this year, watch The Holdovers. And honestly, Zach, I'm sorry, I had to change my rating. I'm going with a 4.5 out of 10.
All right, my turn. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I honestly kind of forgot that we said we could probably be able to wear a Santa hat. So yeah, so that's all right. All right. Let me go ahead and pull up my review. Okay, there we go. All right. So Red One. Based on the trailer, I was expecting like dumb, but at least a fun time. Not anything like groundbreaking or Oscar winner or, like Zach said, considered like a holiday classic, but I was at least expecting like stupid but fun time. I went to an early screening last weekend, and originally I was able to enjoy like the stupid premise with it at the time, but then over time I had some time to digest the movie, and I've seen more and more flaws with it. I still don't hate it. I still don't hate this movie like a lot of critics are, but it's like now I can see a little bit more flaws with it. Let me go ahead and talk about some of the good things about this movie. Yes, the idea alone is stupid on paper, where badass Santa works at like a agency, and like I was expecting like ridiculousness with this movie. So, and I mean, I'm at least glad that it's able to run with its silly concept. I would rather take that rather than a movie that tries to take a stupid concept so seriously. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, I'm looking at you. J.K. Simmons, I would say he was a badass Santa. And yes, could I have used more screen time with him? Sure, but he honestly I thought he was a pretty cool Santa. So, and I can't wait to see him in Klaus. The creature designs did look really cool, and I like the use of the weapon that he used, where he turned like toys into like enlarged objects, useful weapons, things like that. There are some funny moments in the movie. There are funny moments in the movie. I do like honestly, the stuff well at the beach with Nick Kroll, he was pretty funny. I will admit that. Um, and there can be some fun action scenes here and there, although there is one thing that kind of hinders it from like being an absolute blast. But I'll get to that soon enough. Now for the negatives, I do agree with Devin. The Rock, he can't act, so he plays the same stereotypical like badass character we've seen him in. He just honestly, it doesn't seem like there's really much to him. I would say he was a better wrestler than an actor, honestly, just with the same expression he plays for every character. CGI was terrible, so it just looked. This is what I was saying about the action scenes, how one thing can hinder it, and that's some of the CGI looks pretty bad. It looks like a lot of when The Rock turns into CGI and he's thrown around, it looks so rubbery, It doesn't really look convincing. It's not noticeable all the time, but I could see why some people say that the CGI can be distracting for that. The villain, honestly, is just there. She's just kind of forgettable. And I will admit, a lot of the dialogue feels kind of foamed in, felt bland, and just sounds like typical things you would hear from every other Christmas movie, like, let's go save Christmas. How many times have we heard that before? So, but overall, I guess I can't say that I hate this movie, but it's honestly, I don't find it really that good either. I definitely see a lot of people's problems with it. But I just feel like there's better Christmas movies you could probably watch. If you want to watch something new that comes out for the holiday season, maybe you can. I mean, this is just a very strong maybe. Maybe you could wait for like a matinee, but that's at best. So this is more of something you probably would rather wait until it comes out on streaming, So, but if you choose not to see it, if you weren't impressed by the trailer, you're not going to be impressed by this movie. So, and with that, my score is a 5.5.
Am I next? Okay. All right, so I don't hate this movie. I just didn't think it was not a good movie. I thought it was just very forgettable. So I think Chris Evans needs to fire his entire management team. Since Avengers Endgame, he hasn't had a good film. He should be looking into like indie films, do something smaller budget, something to show more of his acting skills, kind of like what Sebastian Stan's been doing for a while, just doing some small indie films and then come back to the big budget films later on. At least show your acting ability. I just think that he went from being I'm a farmer to let's find the finder or the finder, whatever the hell he was called in this movie. I was hoping this to be a dumb, fun movie. Instead, Red One was just very forgettable and just a waste of $250 million. Could have gone elsewhere to other films that could have been made. I think there's other movies that could have used, more money to make a better budget, better effects, better whatever. But like, it's just a very waste of time. The positives, well, the CGI wasn't that great. It felt very rushed. You kind of recognize that with the polar bears and even with the snowmen and stuff like that. You kind of see it just didn't really look right. I mean, you have snowmen on a beach. I guess the positives was I thought the first act was pretty solid, and then it got rock bottom. Going into Act 2 and Act 3. Get it? I thought J.K. Simmons was a cool Santa Claus. Like what Devin and Rob said that he could have had more to do in this movie besides just falling asleep for half the movie. I feel like he should have had at least one moment of Santa Claus to do something. Have him fight the witch, have him fight his brother, just something than just doing nothing. Obviously this it just obviously this was centered around The Rock, so no surprise there. Which became another careless, generic action Christmas movie. Nothing from this movie felt earned, and there's no Christmas heart or charm around it. Even with the stuff with Chris Evans and the kid that's supposed to be like a father-son moment, it just didn't feel like it was earned. We just didn't see any like strain between their relationship in the beginning of the movie. It just seemed like they already had a good bonding moment because they're both just similar people, I guess. I don't know. It's just nothing about their moment felt earned. And writer Chris Morgan, who wrote the screenplay, he's known for writing the Fast and the Furious franchise movies and the Mummy, Tom Cruise Mummy. So, which kind of, give you an idea of what this movie was going to be. It just didn't really work well. Nothing was executed. Like I said, it's probably a rush script that just wanted to get into theaters and just get this movie running and rolling and whatever. It might be worth for people to check out at a Prime Video or MGM streaming service, wherever it goes next. So, yeah, this movie was not a good movie. It's forgettable. Just wait until it's on a streaming service. I highly recommend to check out some other movies. I don't know if The Rock was hoping this to be like his Jingle All the Way kind of movie. When that movie came out, that wasn't received well. But I just don't see people I don't see people finding this as a cult following or anything in the future. So, my score is a 3.5 out of 10.
Okay, I now take the Mark role that he usually has as the last guy. I don't know why, but here we are. Maybe I'm the hairiest. Maybe that's what it is. So I'm gonna be quick. Normally I don't say that, but anyway. This one was just a fun time. I saw the trailer. I'm like, that looks like the stupidest thing ever, and I'm like, I can't wait to see it. As I keep saying to everyone who asks me, "What'd you think of the movie?" It's dumb and harmless, dumb but harmless. It's not something to rage over. It's not something to fucking lose your shit about. It's just kind of a harmless movie. Bad, good, doesn't really matter. It's just so harmless. It's so safe, and it's so like it's just kind of whatever a little bit. The cast was fine. The Rock, I didn't think he was that bad. Like, I don't have this like gigantic hate boner for The Rock like everyone else here does. Like, I think he can do an okay job under certain movies. It's just those are like 1 in 20 at this point. And like he's just a guy. Like, it's fine. It's nothing, you know. I don't know. I just don't have this. I'm not gonna act like he's good in the movie. It's just like it's just whatever. He's The Rock. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. I mean, I know he's not John Cena. He's not Dave Bautista. Those guys are way better at what they do, most definitely. Just yeah, it's just another Rock performance, and I don't think it's like, it's not like Tommy Wiseau trying to act. It's just action star is generic action star. I've seen worse. I've seen better. It's not, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger made a fucking career out of being the generic action guy. So it's like, all right, whatever. Chris Evans, aka I'm a Tracker, is in this movie. And I will say when he's like attempting, I will say towards the end of the movie, he was fine. Like where he's like attempting to like turn over a new leaf and he's like trying to be like a better dad. That stuff's good. But like pretty much from the get-go until that point, like 99% of his dialogue is horrible, horrible MCU quips. Like it's like it got so bad. I was like, you could make, if you made a drinking game with the amount of Marvel quips that Chris Evans said in this movie, you would be dead by the first 15 minutes. It's like, I know Chris Evans can act. He's a good actor, but like the dialogue was just his dialogue specifically fucking annoyed the hell out of me. I will say he was good towards the end and he like tried to work with what little he had, but like even then it was just, oh god, it was just so not great. But yeah, the CGI is not very good. But like it's so weird because the practicals when they go to like Krampus's like domain was like really fucking good. So it's like, so you spent all this time making these really intricate, well thought out prosthetics and makeup for all these different creatures, and yet the CGI looks worse than like a 2000 action movie. Like, it just the discrepancy is just weird to me. I thought the music was really good. I mean, Henry Jackman, he's a very good composer. Like, I really liked, how the use of like the Christmas, like orchestral kind of Baroque feel to it. I think that helped zhuzh up some of the action and moments. He's done a hell of a lot better movies than this, but he's a very good composer and he did a very good job here. And I like the world. Like I like I will say one of my favorite tropes in like modern media is like the modernization of the North Pole and Santa Claus's lore. Like I really like that. Like I love like how like it becomes like a military operation, or like how it's like so technologically advanced, or how like it's like a whole like other world. I really like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the traditional stuff where it's like, oh, it's just a guy in a workshop. But I also really like how it's just like this like fucking ornate operation. And I thought that was really cool. The action sequences were okay, but for most of them, they're pretty poorly shot. Like they do the fucking every other cut, every other second sort of thing, so you don't know what's going on. Some of it's okay, but like some of it's like not very good. The humor is okay. Like you had like a couple decent when Chris Evans was like, "Do you guys have any Wonder Woman action figures?" That's not how it works. All right, I thought that was pretty funny. But then you have like, and the thing is, I like Nick Kroll. Nick Kroll can be very funny. Like when Gorilla possesses him and he's like doing all these things with his face, I'm like, what are you trying to do? You were on Broadway. You've been part of many like nominated television series. What are you doing here? Like, okay. But and I do agree that J.K. Simmons was a little wasted, but even then, it's like you kind of set that up in the movie. Like the trailers sell a kidnapped Santa, so I didn't expect him to be in the movie that much. Would it have been awesome? Sure. Like that would have been great to see, but like, it's still like it's whatever. But overall, like it's not great, and it's not one of the best of the year. It's not one of the worst of the year. It's just like it's an okay movie. I'm not. I don't regret that I saw it. I saw a matinee, so I didn't have to pay that much for it, but as much. But I enjoyed it. Like it's fine. It's harmless. It has some dumb things here and there. Has a lot of dumb things here and there, but I expected dumb. I expected ridiculous. So it's nothing bad, but nothing to be like, oh my god, it's the most amazing thing ever. So yeah, 6 out of 10.
All right. So, here's the analogy I would give this movie. You know how an airplane, right? Leslie Nielsen had really funny lines, was doing really funny things, but he delivered it really straight-faced.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's iconic for it. That's how I describe this movie. Is like the premise and the jokes and the scenarios are really funny, but the delivery for the most part tries to make it all straight-faced. Like, your red one coming in, make the whole agency thing, following Santa Claus around, all that premise, like all military-like. But I thought it did it very well. Like there was still some humor to be had. So
okay,
cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, y'all be hating on The Rock. I think he's a really good actor. Not to say he doesn't have some bad movies, but come on,
I mean, I think he can do good things depending on what he does. Like the thing is, if he just fucking kept his ego, his monstrous fucking ego in check,
his piss bottles.
Yes, thank you.
He like actually, do like for instance, like I remember I think the first thing I ever saw him in was Get Smart, which was like the whole thing. Like part of his character was like making fun of like the himbo action star types, which is like what he does like all the time now. So I felt that was kind of funny, and the way he did it, I think, was like because he was just like a wrestler at that. He was just a wrestler at that point. So
Right.
like okay, yeah, that's fine. But like I think
Hey, it's the Mark Father.
like stuff like that like worked. I feel like
There's
that
no
Father.
I think
idea,
did a
boys.
good job there. I think I'm not gonna say it's a good movie, but like his role in Southland Tales is like so unlike anything else he's ever done that I kind
No,
of weirdly
John, I agree with you on
respect him
that
for
one. Yeah.
Him as a boxer Santoris. Garbage movie. Good.
Like, you
I would
wanna-
say that's
Good
probably a
performance,
good
yeah.
bad movie roast because that is like a bonkers, weird fucking movie. It's not good, but it's Richard Kelly. That's all I can really say about that one. But I
you want
think
another good one?
It depends on the
You
director.
want another good one that he's actually really good in? Watch San Andreas.
San Andreas is good.
I think that's his best movie.
My favorite movie of his is always going to be The Walking Tall. I love that movie. That's a really good, straight up action packed kind of movie. Back in the early 2000s. I mean, I don't hate The Rock as an actor. I just think he's just being fed his own bullshit and he just believes it. But I am rooting for him to like show his acting ability in that A24 movie he's been working on. I do think he is hearing people tell him he's not a good actor, and I know he has that like anybody, he has a motor to show people he can act. So I'm rooting for him. I just don't know. I just think he just needs to find people who are going to tell him, no, this is what you should be doing, than versus, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
Great idea, Rock.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
All right, Mark Father.
Well, it's not funny. It's not charming. It's stupid. Dear God, I keep wanting to call him J. Jonah Jameson. J.K. Simmons makes for a good Santa. He's great, of course, but I mean, he's only at the beginning and the end. So at the beginning and the very end. So, I mean, The Rock can't act for shit. I'm a farmer. I mean, Jesus Christ. Both of these guys need to reset to their careers. Crying out loud. They've got to stop doing stupid ass films like this. And it's just it's not funny. It's not charming at all. So my rating is a 4 out of 10. So yeah, that's right. You type that in. Yeah, I'm just kidding. But yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna act like this is the greatest thing ever, but I enjoyed what I saw of it. Like.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah. I didn't.
I mean, it's
when I saw the
cringeworthy.
trailer, I'm like, that looks like the dumbest fucking movie of all time. I thought it would be a little bit better with, some certain things, but I'm like, but then it wasn't. Then I'm like, but I'm not like, I wasn't like, oh my god, bent out of shape or anything.
No, it wasn't cringe.
I mean, it
didn't appeal to me.
It's
I mean,
not
it's-
Borderlands,
Like, honestly,
right? Mark?
it's not. I don't see this movie being on any of our worst of the year list.
No, I feel like the studio wanted this out around the holiday time, and they had a deadline to make it, and they just were like, let's just,
maybe not even.
let's just like
Maybe
throw
not
all
even
this
among my
together
best.
and
Like maybe not honorable
give you
mention.
something out of it.
Possibly.
Yeah,
It's they were just like, let's shit it out.
yeah.
And
Like honestly, like
Go on.
honestly, like the best part of this movie to me. I know that for most people, like it rehashes things from other Christmas films, but the best part to me was their interpretation of Christmas with the world building and all that, and the Krampus stuff especially. I agree with. I can't remember who it was that said it, but that was my favorite part of the movie, honestly.
yeah, that was pretty
Okay,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
cool.
My turn.
Yeah, that I'm sorry, like that. Like the Krampus slap is the funny. Yeah. The Krampus slap is the funniest thing in the movie.
I mean, the Krampus. Well, yeah, the Krampus slap contest, I guess. But I mean, the whole point where Krampus comes back at the end is so critically predictable. I call that myself like, Krampus is going to come back. Sure enough, Krampus came back.
Oh yeah,
And
this
we had a
movie's
bad-
built on tropes.
Yeah.
Like this movie is like it's just like every like cliche in the book, like,
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
have the tracker who doesn't care about anybody,
Yeah.
but he has his son who he's a terrible father to, but is gonna
Exactly.
reunite by the end of the movie. It's like, yeah, we fucking
Exactly,
saw
yeah.
this
Yeah,
on.
Right.
we kind of knew. We kind of knew.
Yeah, nothing really
It's
to
like-
me felt earned. Nothing.
No.
Someone, I've heard people say like the script and this
Whose
plot feels like it was written
ears-
by AI. I agree.
It's it's paint by
It's-
numbers. I mean, shit.
Very paint by numbers.
Honestly,
Yeah, I
can
didn't
we?
get
I was gonna say,
like
sorry.
you want a script that feels like it was written by AI. Watch Wish. Sorry.
All right. I was gonna say,
Anyway.
can we address the obvious elephant in the room out of the way?
Hey, I'm not that fat. Like, come on, man.
I'm talking about like how this movie is going to bomb big time.
Yeah, bomb and bomb hard like a lead balloon.
Flippity flop.
Yeah,
Now, is this movie being released worldwide, or is it just being?
No,
just-
it's international. It's being
it's international.
it's
Okay,
yeah,
so they're
'cause-
hoping the numbers for international like blows up.
Oh, and
They
also,
think
can I say
more.
something else?
Sure.
It didn't make any fucking sense at all that he starts in the U.S. and goes backwards to Tokyo. It was started the opposite way around. He would start in Asia around Tokyo and actually Australia first. Start in Australia first, then Tokyo, then go to to Asia first, then Europe and Africa. It didn't he skip the fuck over Africa. That's fuck them.
Looks like whoever wrote this movie didn't pay attention to the NORAD Santa tracker.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll tell maybe because they were so behind schedule, maybe they just got all turned around.
Or no, or maybe they just said, you know what, we're America, we have to put ourselves first. So I mean, shit.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world was a fucking afterthought. So yeah, but then
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you had in what was it, the Green Berets? You had John Wayne and the kid looking out over the setting sun over the South China Sea, which lies to the fucking east of fucking Vietnam. The sun's setting in the east. Wow.
Is that you, John Wayne? Is this me?
Yeah.
But
It was written by a guy who wrote Fast and the Furious movies. Enough said.
yeah, but
Oh!
but this honestly, there's no way this movie's gonna make a profit. And I mean, part of the reason is because of The Rock himself.
Yeah,
all
because
those piss bottles.
I mean, hey, I got $300. I got $300 on me. I can go as many times as I want.
Or you can, like,
This
because
is
I-
fucking
from what-
hilarious, guys. This is hilarious. You ready? This film is seen as the first of a Christmas themed franchise.
Oh Jesus!
oh, that's not gonna happen.
That's never going to happen.
It's gonna be a dark universe kind of thing all over
I mean,
again.
I could see.
how they try. I was trying.
But the thing is, though, is that it wasn't trying to set up a universe. Oh yeah.
I mean, what would even the sequel even be about anyway?
Yeah.
He gets
What'd you
kidnapped
say?
again.
The Easter Bunny.
Who knows?
Well, I mean, if Family Feud taught us anything, if Santa was sick,
Oh
the
yeah,
Easter Bunny could deliver
following
the
the
presents for him.
classic trope from.
I was gonna say. So let me see. So what you're saying, Zach, is a movie based on every holiday icon all together. Where have I heard that before? Rise of
Santa
the
Claus 3.
What?
Santa Claus 3, the escape clause.
I was thinking Rise of the Guardians.
What?
Yeah, I know. Hey, Rise of the Guardians is awesome.
Hey, it is. I never
Kevin?
said it wasn't.
Did I just? Did I hear you say Santa Claus 3?
Maybe.
Hey, it can't be as bad as the Disney Plus one that came out.
Time's up.
You got that. Don't tell me you like those Santa
Zach,
Claus.
if you're that mad now, you should have watched the
My
Disney Plus
ex-wife.
special.
My ex-wife liked those Santa Claus movies with fucking Tim Allen. You're got it.
The first one's really good.
Oh,
the
no, I
second
love-
one is the
I
one
love
I
them.
watched the most, so that was the one I like hooked onto. I never watched the third one. It looks stupid.
Third one is stupid. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, Martin
I mean,
Short.
I like the first one.
Oh, yeah, I
and
love
I'll
the
leave
I
it-
love
I'll
the
leave it-
first two. Like
First one was great.
Yeah.
It didn't need a sequel.
First two, yeah.
Well, of
Yeah,
course,
this movie will be, I'm sorry, this movie will probably be number one in the box office for this weekend until Gladiator.
I
2
love the
comes
first
out and
sequel.
Wicked,
This
so
weekend, sure.
And even-
but then what comes out next weekend?
Gladiator
Wicked
2.
and Gladiator 2.
fuck yeah.
Can't wait
Hell yeah.
for Gladiator
also-
2.
Even then, like there's better stuff they can watch like that came out in November. You could watch Nora.
Great
Yes.
movie.
You can watch Heretic. Or you can watch A Real Pain with Jesse Eisenberg and Macaulay
Deadpool and
Culkin's brother.
Wolverine
Hmm.
again.
Kieran
The
Culkin,
Killer
you
in
mean?
Scream 4.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, science.
Oh,
Which
watch
one
My
was
Old
it?
Ass
I
on
mixed-
Amazon Prime.
Science.
Yeah,
bitch.
My Old Ass, the Mark Thompson story.
Hell
That's
yeah.
right. Sorry, Aubrey Plaza.
And Transformer 1 is now on Paramount Plus. So you have movies you can stay at home and watch
Or-
and wait until Gladiator 2 comes out.
Exactly. And I
Oh.
get off in
Or-
a whole week, and my kids
or-
only get off 2 or 3 days.
Nosferatu.
Well, that's not
Well,
coming
hold
for
on.
another
hold
month.
on. Yeah, I was going to say, that's not coming for another month.
Yeah,
and if we're going to
Nosferatu.
go buy every movie in December,
Save up.
let's see here. Nosferatu, Sonic 3,
Lord of the Rings, the animated movie coming
Lord
out.
of the Rings,
No.
Lord of the Rings,
Rings.
depending on how that is.
I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch coming out in December. Plus, there's a bunch
We would
of.
mention Mufasa, but who gives a fuck about Mufasa?
Apparently, a lot of people are because it's probably going to make $1 billion. I bet.
I hope
Honestly, I'm kind of worried now about Sonic 3 because they're
No,
both
I
coming out
think
the same
Sonic-
weekend.
I think Sonic 3 is going to blow everybody away because people are more excited for that movie. Even the younger generation, the younger kids today,
I-
they'd rather see Sonic than Mufasa because Sonic is
Yeah.
now their thing
Yeah,
growing
dude.
up.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
guess-
don't see Mufasa.
I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, like
And to be fair, the
Let's
the Disney remake
because-
train has
because-
been kind of
let's be real,
dying for
like-
the past few years as well.
I get that. I guess what it is just the fact that I know that Lion King is
like
a more
their
recognizable
last successful
IP
one was their last successful remake, and even then it barely broke even, was The Little Mermaid.
Yeah. And the barely broke even part,
Yeah,
you know.
Mufasa doesn't deserve to make
I saved this
like
dude
seriously.
from
Mufasa
a
does not
river.
deserve to make.
I'm a
like, it doesn't-
farmer.
What? I've seen this.
Yeah,
I'm a
if I were
bad
him,
guy.
I'd fucking do the cha
I'm a backwater and I'm gonna be king.
I'm a bad guy.
I'm an asshole.
Like
babies.
yeah, I'm an orphan. I'm gonna steal the throne from the rightful heir. Make Scar a sympathetic villain. Fuck you, Disney. Scar's no fucking sympathetic villain. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Chill out, Zach. Who cares? Ignore it.
I was gonna say,
Like most sane people do.
go on.
I care about this movie bombing. Like, I am now personally emotionally invested in Mufasa being the biggest flop of 2024.
Well, it's not going to be. So I mean, you might as well get that out of here.
What is even the budget for Mufasa anyway?
Let me look that up.
I mean, the first one was a massive hit. So I mean, shit.
Well, I was gonna say the
The budget
rate-
isn't even listed.
okay.
I would
Disney
guess probably
probably-
200 million then.
I was gonna say, but knowing
Yeah.
Disney, it's probably going to be like it'll
Things that-
probably be like 200 to 300 million.
Look, but
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
Here's the thing. I mean, like I
Here's
said,
the
Here's the
thing.
thing.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The thing is this. Disney doesn't. We talked about this before. Look, movies are nothing more than a side business for Disney. Every movie they released could have flopped this year. Wouldn't have fucking touched their bottom line. Wouldn't have fucking touched it. The vast majority of their money comes from the fucking parks. The morons going there and spending thousands upon thousands of dollars for that fake ass experience. So
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, especially all the weird
Things that give me hope though are the fact that because here's the thing, like here's what gives me hope for this movie bombing, because the first one was a hit, but the reviews were extremely negative. Hardly anyone liked it. So the feedback of that could affect a prequel to said film doing horribly.
And we'll see.
I mean, if that would have been the case,
But
you'd have
yeah.
seen a big drop off, and apparently that didn't happen. So, because I mean, they made $1 billion.
So anything else?
Maybe this movie bombs. Like Mark said, it's not going to touch the bottom line. Even they had 2 big successes this year: Wolverine, Deadpool, and Inside Out 2. So it's like they made some money back from last year.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want to make this a Disney thing, but because it's all about the Rock.
Then again, Disney was struggling last year too, because I think the only films that came out that were a big success were Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and maybe Elemental. So
I think that was it. Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah,
Elemental was deemed a sleeper hit.
Yeah.
It bombed it bombed when it first released, but then it's like, but then it just came out, and then it just came out of nowhere being the hit.
Yeah, and then Quantumania didn't meet their financial expectations, and then the Marvels just bombed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a farmer.
Yeah. Speaking of fucking Marvel. Yeah. Speaking of fucking Marvel, man. I'm dreading it, but I'm gonna finally start catching up with the Marvel shit, man. Like, cause I want to catch up for Brave New World next year. I'm not looking forward to it though, because that means the Marvels,
which movie,
and I gotta
which ones do you still have to see?
Again. Oh, pretty much everything in Phase 5, almost.
So
I've been taking a long break from Marvel, with the exception of Deadpool.
I was gonna say, so the only four Phase 5 movies, or are you also including the shows too?
So you can skip it all and just watch Phase 6.
Yeah, the shows.
Yeah, what Rome said.
I want but
save the time you need.
Yeah, but I have a feeling because Marvel likes to say you have to see this and this to understand the movie.
The funny thing
is everything now. Otherwise, I would take the liberty of skipping.
I mean, the funny thing is the fact that I've seen the Marvels, and I didn't even watch the Miss Marvel show, so I didn't even bother.
That reminds me. I remember when I went to go see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I ordered the tickets ahead of time, but one of my friends couldn't go. He had like last minute thing. And so I asked my dad, like, hey, I have this ticket. Do you want to come? He's like, yeah, okay. And I was like trying to explain to him like what happened in like WandaVision and all this other shit, and like trying to like be like a good Marvel nerd, I guess. And he just stops me. He's like, John, does a good guy fight a bad guy? I'm like, yeah. That's all I need to fucking know. I don't need to know all this fucking background shit and all this other bullshit. I don't need to hear any of that. Good guy fights a bad guy. That's all you need. This isn't depth. All right. This is fucking Marvel. Like, really?
That's usually.
And then after we watched the movie, I'm like, did you understand? He's like, yeah, there was a couple things I was like, but I'm like, I got it. I got the gist.
But John, don't you want a narrator like Kate? But John, don't you want a narrator like Kate Blanchett giving you an entire fucking appendix worth of information throughout the entire fucking film? Especially
no. I didn't talk during the movie. It was beforehand.
I know. I'm just saying about Borderlands. It was just that fucking bad. Dear God, it wasn't even so bad. It's good. It's just bad. It's just boring. But anyway,
I mean, hey,
But
we could
yeah,
at
I'm
least.
gonna be catching up for Brave New World.
Well,
Even though it's gonna be a fucking huge bomb of a movie.
Honestly, Zach, the only movie you need to watch for Brave New World, I would say, would be the Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Maybe Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but the
Yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier, yeah, that too.
What was that?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I know it's controversial, but I'm
I'm
sorry. I
hearing
like
that
Black
there's
Widow.
like I'm hearing there's
Black
something in
It wasn't
Widow
a bad
wasn't
movie. It's just the timing sucked.
terrible.
I didn't
It was
care
just
for-
meh.
I didn't care for Black Widow.
Devin, I liked it. I just wish the timing of it was just bad because it should have came out before Endgame. You know, have that tempo that it needed. But
You're right.
a Phase 3 film that should have been. But yeah. But the thing is, like, I'm hearing things about Brave New World. They're like, oh, they're gonna go back to things from Eternals, and I'm like, oh fucking Christ, I gotta watch that shit again. Also,
well, I'm hearing from screen testing it's not doing well. So we'll
Like
see what
every
happens.
screen test has been terrible. I remember Giancarlo Esposito was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing more reshoots." Like he just said that like a couple weeks ago, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
they had it-
God.
The story is they had to change that lady who was like an Israel superhero and change her into like just being a special agent or whatever. They're really changing a lot of.
Well,
Really?
I don't.
Stuff
Okay,
around
here's
it.
the thing. I don't blame them for the Israel
Oh,
shit
same here.
because of what's going on in the news right now.
Yeah,
That's fair, but like everything else, like literally, Giancarlo Esposito was saying, the first time he met his cast members was at Comic-Con, and they've been filming this movie for at least a year, and like I've heard every test screening has bombed, like every single one has been negatively received. They felt like the action sequences weren't good. There's like a million different plots. There's a million different villains. It's like I don't even know who the villain is anymore because it's like, okay, it seems like Giancarlo Esposito is the villain, but at one point the leader was the villain. Is Red Hulk a villain now? It's like, is Sabra, the Israeli chick, a fucking villain? It's like
it's all
this
over the place.
movie looks like a fucking mess. It looks like they're trying to do Winter Soldier, but poorly. It's like they're trying to do the political thriller thing, but it's just like not working at all. And it looks fucking terrible. But that's modern Marvel for you.
Yep.
didn't
Why are we talking about Marvel?
Winter Soldier have bad test screenings also? That's what I heard.
I don't remember having bad.
I don't remember that.
The
But then again, that was like over 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Thank
10
you.
years ago. Yeah.
I mean,
Do you have anything else to say about Red One?
Not really.
Yeah, same.
No.
here.
there's nothing to say.
We're just rambling at this
I'll
point.
say this,
Yeah.
like for all the critics out there calling it bland, soulless commercialism,
It is.
y'all the
It is.
same
It
people
is.
who overhated on Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Because
Okay.
I'm not one to bow down to commercialism.
No, as you drink a fucking Coke.
That's the joke.
But yeah,
He's quoting Wayne's World.
I was gonna say Wayne's World.
Yeah, tisk.
Some people do things just
But
to
yeah.
get paid. And
Hey,
that's just really
say
bad.
Yeah, go see it if you're curious.
If you're a fan of these actors, check it out if you want to, but watch it as a matinee.
go
or
see
just
it
wait
if
for
you're
I would say
curious.
wait
if
for
you think-
streaming.
It's honestly
Yeah.
it's a matinee at best and
It's
like-
a low matinee.
low at best. But I would say that you're probably better off just waiting until it comes on streaming.
I'll say this, like go support it in theaters if you have the money for it, but yeah, go support it in theaters if you can, but if you're wanting to wait for streaming, then yeah, it's still worth a watch there. So
Or you could say,
that's all
or
we
you
can really
could
say.
you-
All right,
Mm.
next review.
I was just-
Who's got it?
I was gonna say like you can wait till save your money for Sonic 3.
Yeah, or Nosferatu, or literally any other movie
Uh,
coming out this year, or even our next movie. What's our next movie, Mark?
Mark, why don't you take it over?
Gladiator 2, baby.
Fuck yeah.
Gladiator
yeah.
2,
Hell
Electric
yeah.
Boogaloo.
and
Oh,
you
yeah.
and I will be
Yeah.
seeing it together in IMAX.
Exactly.
Are you not entertained?
You know
And
what? I
I-
forgot that I'm off next week, or I would have said Friday, but I mean, shit. But oh, well, either way, we'll just see it on Saturday.
It's all right. It's all right, man.
Yeah, it's all right.
At least we get the IMAX experience.
I very
That's all that
likely won't be
matters.
able to see it. I very likely won't be able to see them in theaters, but yeah.
Funny
I've
enough
heard some
is
good
that
things about it, so
yeah.
fingers crossed.
Yeah. Funny enough is that the other night I actually watched the first one again, and because Ben hasn't seen it, so and he
sweet.
loved it. Yeah, it still holds up.
Yep.
What can I say?
That's what we got. Yep. That's what we got going on, and I am the Gaxiology. Class is out of session. Later, mofos.
Once again, we have brought light into the world. You're welcome, America.
And Merry Christmas.